Yo, what up? Welcome to another episode of the D Will Show. I am your host, D Will. This is episode 127 of the D Will Show. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at D Willow, DWILLOOO. Go follow me over there for all the updates about upcoming podcasts, what I got coming up this summer. Special shout out to my cousin Skip, 88 West Basketball. This summer, we lit. So be on the lookout for that. Go follow me, go follow them on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, The D Will Show. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you get your podcast. Go follow, go like. That'll really help me in the end. Shout out to our sponsors, 27 Horizon. Connecting your business to new horizons. Contact 27 Horizons for all your creative design needs and book them today to make your event one to remember with any DJ or photo services. DM 27 Horizon for more info. But today, I got a good one for y'all. I got my East Side brother. Shout out to cousin Skip for setting this up. Tom Cat, um,
Like,
original from Springfield. Shout out Springfield. Then he went on to transfer to East Aurora. Had a hoop career at East Aurora. Then he went on to Triton College. Show love over there. St. Ambrose. Then he had a professional career overseas. Y'all help me welcome Justin Tyner. Justin, what's up, Brody?
hey, what's going on? What's going on, bro? Hey, one episode 127. That's tough. That's tough. That I think I seen your first one with Marcus Crocroft. So shout out, little bro. Shout out Skip for setting this up. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm a fan for sure. You doing something for Aurora. That's tough, bro. That's tough.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you taking time out, for believing in me, what I got going on, for just supporting too. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said,
Oh
I
yeah.
create this platform to show love to the hoopers, kind of make more people aware of, what y'all go through behind the scenes that we don't see. You know what I'm saying? That can kind of get gauge to the youngins. So appreciate you again, bro.
Man, it's my pleasure for sure.
So we're gonna tap right into it, bro. Your upbringing, man. Let's jump right into your upbringing. How was your upbringing? Where you from, and kind of start from there.
So I was born in Joliet. I'm from Aurora. I moved to Springfield in eighth grade year, but I actually came back beginning of my sophomore year. So from the east side, born and raised. Went to O'Donnell like second, third, fourth. Transferred to Gates my fifth grade year. Went to
Okay.
Waldorf all 3 years, and then finished out at East Aurora. So yeah, definitely from the town.
Okay. What? How did you get in the? How did you get in the hoop? You know what I mean. Being from Aurora, as a kid, we played everything in the neighborhood. You know what I mean. Who kind of put the ball in your hand that kind of got you hooping?
I was just being bad outside playing with friends. I think it really started early, and I used to live in Talos. We moved to Marywood. Ryan Boyd used to be out there. His little brother Dimitri, Antonio Clark. All of us used to just be in the neighborhood, just hooping on the little Fisher Price rims, setting them out. And shit, I fell in love with it, man. I became infatuated, and then in fifth grade is where it really started to come together because that's when like schools had little tournaments. And I remember playing Dietrich, Beaupre. Shit, I remember all the little raw hoopers back then, man. And I used to try to compete, be better than them. They used to always talk about, I think Beaupre, they was raw. They had Sean Parker, Marlon Dickerson, James Malone. Like Dietrich had some, my boy Richard Winfrey. They had like Filipino, Dominique Davis. So it was like a little hoop scene starting to create. And I just always wanted to be the best. And I
Yeah.
remember Gabe, we used to just run through people. And then that's when it really started to make sense because I was real tall, but I could handle the ball. And it just shot off from there.
Okay. Okay. What was that moment for you when you was like, all right, I'm really nice with it. You know what I'm saying? What was that moment for you when you was like, okay, cool? Because some people start off hooping, but they don't always, pursue it all the way. What
No,
was that moment?
I fell in love with it in fifth grade. And then in seventh and eighth grade is when it became like certified because we at Waldo, we was running through the east side. Jewel was the best team back then. They had like Reggie Ship,
Shout out.
and man, it's so many names. Javon, I think, so many raw players. Will, but we played them at Waldo, and I had caught fire that game. I hit like maybe 8 threes. I had like 30 something, and we beat them. Reggie know this. We talk about this to this day, but they was like the best team around in the city, and we beat them. And that's when it was like people were like, damn, JT, like you real with it. And that's when it was just kind of like, yeah. So 7th and 8th grade is when I really understood, like, oh yeah, I got something here.
Yeah. Did you ever have somebody that kind of was like over you, kind of was like, okay, JT, we finna go work on this today. We finna go do that. Or did you always have that drive from the beginning when you made that your mind?
I'm trying to think. I don't want to forget nobody, but unfortunately not, man. My dad wasn't really hands on for real. I had some good coaches, but no one who really like showed me the game. It was always me, honestly, outside playing and in games and really like playing, practicing, teaching myself type shit. I used to love Iverson, so I used to try to pad my moves after him.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of my next one for you too. Is like, who was some of the people that you kind of was patting your game after that you was watching?
Man, early on, because in 7th grade, 2001, when Iverson was in the finals. So that's when it was really Iverson, bro. I didn't really like Kobe and them because they were always just be Iverson. So I was really infatuated with everything I did was kind of to emulate what Iverson had going on.
Okay. Just AI. But what did you take from AI? Was it just, how he carried himself, or what was it about AI that kind of made you stick to him?
Everything, probably now that I'm looking back at it, probably wasn't the best choice for me, but everything, bro. When I say everything, from like the passion to the look, I ended up growing my hair out. Even wore number 3. Like, man, everything I did was in sets of 3s to like kind of like emulate dude. But everything, just the dog, honestly, like just the dog. And back then I was known as a dribbler. Like I had all the handles. So it didn't come till later in life where I became a real shooter. So everything was about AI, bro.
Okay. I know you talked about, you had your moments in middle school where you was playing against the top talent. So you went to Springfield, and then you transferred to East, or was it East and Springfield and came back? How did that work?
So I finished 8th grade and I went 6th, 7th, and 8th to Waldo. And then at that time, General Mills had closed down. Like right after 01, 02, I moved to Springfield. Right after I finished the 8th grade season in Illinois and in Aurora, sorry. And then when I moved to Springfield, it was right at the end of their season in 8th grade. And I played the end of their season. We ended up winning the regional champions. That's a whole nother story. And then I stayed my freshman year out there. And this is around like 2002, 2003. Because that's when like, when I was a freshman, Jay Thomas was there, Justin Sarasoli was at West Aurora, Sean Pruitt. Like this was early in the real hoop scene in Illinois. And then right after my freshman year, I transferred right back to Aurora and I went to East Aurora.
Okay. If you a hoop fan, you know what I mean. The hoopers from Springfield, man. You got Sean Livingston down there. You got Iggy, stuff like that. Now, were you hooping with Iggy at that time?
So Iggy was a senior when I was in 8th grade. So right when I got to Springfield, I finished my 8th grade year. Everyone was telling me about Lanphier. Like, man, you need to go see this dude, Iguodala and Richard McBride. But I was a Southeast kid. I went to Southeast my first year. I didn't go to Lanphier. I went to Southeast. So even Southeast had Marcus Hurd, Ty Johnson, Tommy Collier, like a lot of people, bro. They was stacked. And the hoop scene was really like real deal stacked, bro. My freshman year, even in like you said, Champaign and them, Sean Livingston, Aurora, West Aurora, even East, they had a break back then. So that's when it really started. I think I would probably say that's when basketball was the best, bro. High school basketball for sure.
What has been the biggest difference from being out there to playing any type of ball and then coming back to Aurora where we kind of get overlooked with the hoop scene? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make between the two when you came back?
Honestly, there was no adjustment. It was real similar. Like, it was just good basketball. I think up in Aurora is more city-based and more exposure and opportunity. I think Peoria and not Peoria, but Springfield, they got better history, whatever. But I'll tell you this, bro. I had a decision actually to go to West or East. And this is like when we was moving back, my mom actually gave us the choice. And looking back at it, I probably wish I would have went to West just based on a better structure or whatnot. But we ended up going to East. But it was for wrong reasons. Like we was like, man, we from the East Side. We want to go where our friends at. So we actually went to East. I called Coach Jay and talked to him, and he was like, yeah, man, Because I was like, man, I'm trying to go where I'm gonna play because I'm out here with varsity as a freshman. I'm trying to go back home, and yeah, it's gonna be like I'm the new kid, but I'm really from there, so I don't know if they forgot about me or still remember me or what. But I was really trying to be like where I'm gonna play when I come. And Coach Jay
Yeah.
was like, we'll like to have it. So I went to East.
And did you feel like at East, did you feel like you reached your full potential, going to East? Like, do you have, I don't want to say regret, but I know you said you kind of would have made a different choice. Do you feel like your career still would have panned out if you went to West? Because like you said, naming all those guys that were at West already, you know what I mean, a stacked team like that, maybe some opportunities may not have been the same if you had went to East.
No, it would have been I think everything happened for me that was supposed to happen to me. I think if, either way I went, it would have definitely worked out. Because I was just that type of player, but I was initially I was the person to serve people, so I was an assist. I was a real deal point guard, Still to this day, like I'll be on some point guard shits, but I can shoot now. But
Yeah.
anywhere I would have went, it would have automatically fit because players would have loved playing with me. I wasn't no selfish trying to get my type player. You know what I mean? But I had
Yeah.
game. But I do like being from the East Side of the world because it made me who I am today. It taught me a little things that, probably I wouldn't have got on the West Side. However, I know the difference of that too. I know West would have provided a lot more, structure, and I probably wouldn't have got on the East Side shenanigans that I think every kid from the East Side pretty much has to battle or navigate through.
Facts. Okay. How was your high school experience though? You know what I mean? Just going to East Aurora, you know what I mean? Just the history behind, East and West, but going to East and playing there, which I think East probably got the best gym and probably the state, you know what I'm saying? Just especially the East-West games, just the whole college feel of it. Just talk about your whole high school experience, the East-West games, putting on a Tomcat, uniform. And, at that time, the games were packed out for y'all. Just talk about that experience a little bit.
It was an experience that not a lot of people, unfortunately they didn't get the experience, but I loved it, man. I would have changed it. And if anybody if they watch this or see this and they was hooping around that time, everybody know about Tyrone Evans. He was the big bro of the hoop shit. Like I'm sorry, I don't know if I could cuss or not, but
He was
the big bro of this hoop shit. Everybody know it. Can't nobody deny it. Obviously you got Jay Thomas, Justin Sarasoli, Damian Mason, Sean Pruitt. That West team was stacked. So East had the opportunities. When I came back, they was up against West. I think somebody probably draw something fouled or some crazy shit, but they had their opportunities. East always had a great culture with Robert Johnson, shit, Damian, Darius Vincent, Fuji, Tyrone and all them, Jordan Lozano, bro. They had Jonathan Winfrey, like they had a team. They was doing their thing. So me being at Waldo, going to watch the East games, like it used to be packed. That atmosphere, I used to love that. I used to want to be a part of that. And then when I came as a sophomore, I was instantly started varsity. Isaiah Anderson, he was the one that really showed me the ropes and like really made me into the player that I was at East because he made it hard for me. You know what I'm saying? We was pretty much going for the same position, but Isaiah made it hard for me and he prepared me for what it was like going to be playing at East. And it helped me a lot. Like, I don't know if bro really know that if I ever told him that, but he used to make that shit hard for me in practice. And that shit prepared me for what I was, what I had going on at East.
Okay. Being, playing in that culture, I know you talked about the East-West games a little bit. What has been your toughest matchup though, playing against, the top talent, just being from either side, either could be from West Aurora or just a memorable matchup for you where you kind of was like, nah, bro, really nice with it.
Let me touch on the East versus West game, then I answer that question. But yeah, that atmosphere there was like college atmosphere. I never really scored high points in the East versus West game. I don't know if I was too nervous or the energy was different. But my personal record is good versus West. East, back then West was whooping shit, but now when I was there, East was whooping shit, and we was even. The games was always competitive, and I think Sean Collins killed them our sophomore year at home. Yeah, shout out Sean S. He did his thing our sophomore year, and we beat them. And then next year, our junior year, I think we might have lost, but then our senior year, we beat them. So it was a good battle, man. It's one of the better battles in the state, and it's I don't know how it is now. I know the alumni game. Speaking of that, You know, we still get it in. I had to put belt to ass last alumni game, but man, that game will always forever be a game to watch or just be a part of because the energy is different. It's a real energy created throughout that game.
Yeah, facts. I think now, man, the game, the alumni games, I mean, not the alumni games, the East West games have changed so much because of opportunity. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it like that, but you know, we're gonna keep it real on here because we kind of want to, you know, we want to help, but it's more exposure on the West Side, man. They go to, you know, the better tournaments and you know, stuff like that. We just gonna keep it real. And I feel like now East is trying to make a change. You know, they added, you know, they redid the football field, you know, they added the freshmen, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So they're trying to make a change, but I think now it's just the fun of it. You know what I mean? Like the Hoopers really want to come to East to make it, you know, well, back to that program where y'all was coming up, where it's like, all right, we're gonna make it fun. We're gonna make it to where the East West game is packed out. Like I was talking to Skip the other day, and he was like, man, like the East West game, you had to get your tickets as soon as they announced it. Like you don't get your tickets that day, like you're not going. You know what I'm saying? You're not people going to the mall, getting their fresh outfits, getting their haircut. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we'll get those back. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get those moments back, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it was what a time to be alive, especially to be a part of, bro. That's what. So I don't know what it is, maybe the skill or what, but I don't know, man. But I 100% agree with you, bro.
Facts.
But the real quick to answer your question, who I played with that I was like, man, I ain't even about to go on that list, but I'll just name a few. A few from Aurora. Against, I would say definitely some West Side people because I've been teamed with the East Side. So against will probably be like Reggie, TJ Marion, Johnny Walker used to do his thing. I don't want to miss nobody. But Chicago area, man, I played on the mixers. And then when I was at Springfield with One and Gun, that's what really put me on the national scale with like Demetri McCamey, Every Turner and all them, like Jacob Pullen and my boy Fuqua and all them. Like it was real like hoopers. We played against real teams and real hoopers. Like I remember the mixers, we went out to Vegas or whatever. Ty Lawson, Kevin Durant, like all them dudes. Rajon Rondo in Louisville, he used to sell my homie dad shoes right after his game. Like he used to go crazy. Like crazy.
Yeah, I was on the same AAU team, you and Jacob Pullen and all them?
No, we played Jake when he was at Proviso East. We played him we beat them one year with Brian Carwell and all that.
Okay, got you. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but the whole AAU scene, you know, now it's just AAU is so social media led, which is not a problem, but you know what I mean? Like for y'all really had to put in the work to really get seen and people hear your name. Now it's more like I can take a video of you scoring 10 points and make it seem like you a D1 player.
Yeah.
Just talk about how difficult it was to really make a name for yourself in the AAU scene and the, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, we traveled a lot, man. But here's the thing, man. If you can hoop, you gonna get seen. So AAU is a lot of pros and cons. I think it provides a lot of opportunities that kids don't really get at the actual high school team. So that's a good thing. Then again, it can be a circus, man. You got a lot of politics in AAU, and you know, so it's a lot of pros and cons. You can make and break your career because you'll be trying to do shit that you do at AAU, and it don't translate to real basketball, you know. And on the other side of that, you probably don't even really play on your high school team, but you might kill it in the AAU circuits, and you'll go to college off that. So it's a lot of pros and cons, man, with the AAU. But me personally, I'm investing in some AAU programs, some top AAU programs. I sponsor a lot, and I'm always in touch with the hoop scene for sure.
Yeah. Okay. For you, did you have to make any adjustments? I know basketball is basketball. If you're a hooper, you can adapt. But like, did you have to make any adjustments? Because like I say, more AAU, you more free, you more, you know, it ain't really a system in place. But high school ball, you know, you might have to run plays, stuff like that. Did you have to make any adjustments on that part?
Me personally speaking, no, I didn't. But I do know that it's a real thing. A lot of people do. But like I told you, I was always like I've never played on a team that I wasn't the starting point guard. And now that I think about it, like any AAU team, middle school team, elementary, high school, college, professional, it never was a starting point guard before me. You know, only time is when I was a sophomore, Isaiah was a junior. Isaiah started out the varsity season, started point guard, and I came off the bench. So that's the only time I can remember. he ended up getting in trouble like halfway through the season. I ended up becoming a starting point guard. So that's the only time. But like I said, I didn't have to make an adjustment because my game was always breaking my man down and driving and kicking. I never really was the go for 30. Even though I had skill, I had moments where I'm saying, I'll get on some selfish shots, whatever. But for the most part, there wasn't no better point guard on the floor than me. Like I could get what I want. Nobody's gonna be able to guard me. I'm gonna hit him with a cross, and I'm gonna throw a fancy pass or get like some people wide open shots type shit.
Real point guard.
I understand basketball. That's how I made it pro because it was an IQ that come with it. And you got it. Most people when they grow up, when they're young, if they'll run. If it's two people running with you, they'll go for the layup. I always was the person to get that person and let him lay it up. And that shit is instincts, And a lot of people would rather prefer to get that 2 points, and that's it translates to how they play.
Right. What you say, real point guard. You
real point guard, yeah, for sure.
Okay. For you, just talk about just your high school experience. You know what I mean? Playing, coming back to East sophomore, junior year. Just talk about your whole high school experience through your career. Did you have any, battles that you had to, overcome? Did you have any, high moments? Some of your favorite moments as a Tomcat? Just talk about that a little bit.
Outside of injuries, I'll probably say I was blessed, man. I had a great high school career athletically. I wasn't the best student, but I wasn't the worst. I was pretty popular, man. I probably dabbled in some things that I probably shouldn't have, but the biggest thing I had to overcome was my homie when we were seniors in 07. My homie Richard Winfrey, he got shot in his neck. And that pretty much did a toll on me that I wasn't old enough to understand how psychological deep that, what I was going through. And I had to get through that. And outside of that, man, I was blessed. I was fortunate to, stay out of trouble. I dabbled in some things when I first came back to East, messing with some of the East Side dudes. And I'll tell you this quick, real funny story. I'm outside hanging out with some friends stuff. Long story short, we all get arrested. And for some curfew shit, we wasn't doing nothing too crazy. But I'm sitting there thinking outside, like, damn, I wonder what my mom gonna think. So everybody started like roasting me and shit. Everybody, all the niggas for the hood or whatever, like, oh, Justin got arrested, was worried about his wife and woo. And I was right then and there, I knew, like, I ain't coming back over here. I ain't messing with y'all no more, man. I'm hooping, bro. I ain't doing all this, but surely or not, man, I go after school, after high school and all that, and see people go their different ways, and like, I know I made the right decision. Like, it probably sucked, getting made fun of then, but I know I made the right decision. That shit I wasn't with that, I wasn't with all that street stuff and all that tough shit and all that. So I went the other direction. I fell in love with ball, and it created a path for me my whole life, bro.
Yeah. Just to touch on that, JT, a little bit. Can you speak on, from an experience, you said you had to make a choice of like, no, I'm not going to deal with that. Can you kind of just touch on, because I see it a lot with kids trying to be they want to be so hard, but they want to be hoopers too. You know what I'm saying? Like they always want to be with the tough guys, or they always want to, stuff like that. And I feel like you can't do both. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just, if you can kind of, from your experience, why is that a thing? Why do kids want to be so tough and want to be a hooper? Like, why can't you just be a straight hooper, stay out of trouble? Because back in the day, street dudes looked out for the hoopers. If you was nice, hey man, watch out. You know what I'm saying? Go in the crib, or don't be out here, go to the gym. But why is that a thing now, JT?
I just think now, being grown, knowing what I know and doing the studies and all this stuff I have, because I just think, in certain communities, you battle with stuff that other communities don't. For example, I don't think West Aurora had to deal with some of the stuff the East Side had to deal with. And I didn't really understand what was going on, but I do realize, like, damn, all these raw-ass basketball players after school, they go on to college, maybe away for a semester, but then they right back. And when they come back, they don't really have no real plan. So all of them is getting in trouble and converting to like being in the streets, making quick money and, selling drugs and whatnot. And then they just, it's just something that you come up along. And I will admit, social media is a big part of it, I don't got no social media. Outside my business page, I don't do no Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, none of that. Like, I'm in touch with reality. I think social media is a distraction from reality. Obviously, it's a lot of good things with it. You can utilize it to be very beneficial, but that plays a big part of people want to portray an image that's not really the best for them or not really who they are. And in high school, I done seen people be part of basketball teams, like all the hood dudes that end up going to jail or in and out of jail or got that hood name or status. Them dudes started playing basketball. I remember that. I ain't gonna name no names right now, but all them dudes was on the basketball team in the fifth and through middle school. And then when in high school, you might not be that good, so now you might not make the team, or you know what I'm saying, you are making the team, but it's you really understand you ain't about to go to college off this. So it's like, man, I'm gonna find myself, and then I'm probably going all over the place. But back then, to be tough, that's because girls like that. You try to be that for, to impress a girl, but then it just got out of hand where everybody is just angry and dealing with so many psychological problems that they try to be a savage, and it's just crazy. But it is a navigation you got to go through life, dodging that stuff, because it's so quick to learn about selling weed and make a lot of money, because a lot of people on the east side, they struggling, so they trying to find a quick dollar, and they don't have the means to go to college and get a full ride scholarship basketball and all that. So it's like you fall to what you fall to this stuff, and a lot of it's out of convenience, a lot of it is out of stupidity. It's man, that's a whole nother subject for another day, bro. I ain't gonna get rambling on about that, but I do encourage brothers to find yourself, man, and understand, like, it's not about what you think, all the tough stuff and all that. Like, man, go a different route. Basketball can provide so much for you. If it ain't even for basketball, you can do art, music, mechanics, like anything, bro. You could go whatever you want to do, but I encourage young people to find themselves early and find a passion, for sure. Find a passion.
Nice. Okay. Appreciate that, Brody. I think that really might help somebody, just hearing that from experience from, you playing pro ball and trying to get to where someone trying to get to. So I appreciate you sharing that for sure. For you, Brody, talk about Travis Brown. What up, Brody? For you,
another one that was a staple and set a standard. Like, Travis had game, man. Everybody came to see Travis, for sure.
Travis like that.
Yeah, he was a big bro on the whole scene, man. For sure.
Man. But for you, bro, how was the recruiting process for you? You know what I mean? When the schools really started to, get on your radar? What were some of the schools that you kind of were looking at, that you were talking to? Did you go any visits? I mean, just kind of talk about, the whole college recruiting process.
So I was killing in AAU circus. I was doing good in high school. I had a few D1 letters, and I've had a few coaches tell me that they've talked to some head coaches, some big time programs. But honestly, my ACT or SAT, whatever it was, it sucked. Like, I think the first time I took it, I got a 16, retook it and got a 14. Like, it was ridiculous. And so right there, I understood I couldn't go D1. So I ended up going, it's funny, I ended up going right to a junior college that I said I would never go to. And I felt like a lot of East Side players would just go to that because that's the only opportunity they had, which was Triton College. And I remember my big homie Yami went to Triton. I always just say, like, man, I'm not going to Triton. I'm trying to go D1. I'm trying to go to another program, but reality hit. I wasn't being a big time recruit. I wasn't a 5-star player. Now at the end of my senior year, I don't have many options. So the local Triton coach, Steve at the time, Christensen, he was recruiting me. So at the end of the day, I'm graduated. I don't got no other offers. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go to Triton. Yeah. And so I went to Triton for 2 years, killed it. When I say killed it, my first year, I think I was like, it was crazy. My whole high school career, I was an assist person, but in my first year of junior college, I was like 4th in the conference or the nation in 3-point percentage. So that I started to change, my game. And from my 2 years at Triton, another thing, I didn't graduate, so I didn't have a lot of D1 opportunities. I couldn't go D1 because I didn't graduate junior college. Again, just being in school, doing the bare minimum, just enough to get by, stay eligible. Didn't really apply myself because I'm just too busy, I would say, dicking off, you know what I'm saying, doing other stuff that wasn't important. Yeah. And so by the grace of God, I get an opportunity. And here's the funny thing. So the coach called, I didn't graduate college. I finished hooping at Triton. I got another year of school to graduate, but I'm like, no, I'm about to go play somewhere else because you can go somewhere else and play. At the beginning of the summer, the coach from St. Ambrose in Iowa called me. And he was like, hey, I got an opportunity. You're a great player. I want to offer you a scholarship. And beginning of the summer, I'm like, I'm going to weigh my options. I'll be back in touch. So I contacted another school, South Carolina. It was like Columbia University. I was supposed to go there and visit. They wanted me. Didn't end up going. They didn't buy my plane ticket or something. So I say all that to say it was like maybe 4 days before college was supposed to start. I ain't signed nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. I called a coach from St. Ambrose University in Iowa. Like, hey, I want to come to your school. I want to sign. And by the grace of God, he was like, we'll love to have you. Come on. I'll have the people call you, get you set up. But I understand how I could have shot myself in the foot because he'd have been like, no, we've been moved on. Because I tried to put him on pause and tried to say like, nah, I'm going to weigh my options, but thought I was cool, thought I was too good, and little enough. That was the only opportunity I had. So I took it, and it was the best thing for me, bro. I killed it. And it's like everything happens for a reason, man. I believe that. I believe if you do the right things, you'll be blessed. And that's what happened for me.
Right. I know you spoke about, you kind of had second thoughts about going to Triton. Now that that Triton kind of was a stepping stone, in your career. Just for any young hoopers that may be listening right now, just talk about how JUCO is not always the bad route. Don't think just because you're going JUCO that you're not a good hooper, or that you're not gonna make it to the league still, or stuff like that. Or just talk about from your experience, like how that really was important, because like I said, you could have been like, I ain't going to Triton, and then maybe your career wouldn't have turned out how it turned out, But just talk about how JUCO is still important. It's still basketball. It's still high level basketball, because you got dudes that's trying to make it to the next level.
That's a great question, man. That's how you know your show gonna end up popping, bro, and you're gonna end up being a star in this shit. Because that's a great question. And outside of social media, bro, JUCO is the most realistic thing that you can do. I don't care what nobody tell you, unless you're being recruited when you're in 8th grade, like Ryan Boatwright, or you got people recruiting you from a freshman. You're not going no big time D1 program. It's just like those odds are not realistic. So this is what you do. A lot of times, I'm gonna assume your parents don't got money to send you to a college. Okay, y'all don't think parents are spending 20, 30 years for their kid to go to college. So therefore, go on to junior college, get your prerequisite classes out the way. So when you transfer into a university, you already got half of the credits you would have had you start off. Don't go to a university your first year and incur so much in tuition that just in hopes of making a basketball team. If you're not getting a scholarship, I wouldn't recommend going to a university for 4 years, because that's how you're going to get a degree and end up in $100,000 a debt. Go to a junior college where you can spend $1,200 a semester and then get your associate's degree and then transfer to a university. That now you only got 2 years of loans for tuition instead of 4 years. And a lot of times if you go for 4 years, people not finishing and getting degrees because they can't pay off their tuition. So as a hooper, man, there's D1 dudes playing JUCO just for the same reason. I was good enough to go D1. I'm not just tooting my own horn. Anybody who watched this or see this, and they know they know I was good enough to play D1 basketball. So my case is what I think is a lot of people's cases is they just don't got good grades. They're not really good academically students, or they don't got SAT tests. So therefore D1's off the table, but they got to go JUCO. But there's real D1 dudes hooping in JUCO. JUCO got game. Like, don't ever think JUCO is beneath you, because you'll go to that JUCO and ride the bench. I guarantee you. So JUCO is the way to go. It's the most realistic way to go. And even if you go JUCO, it's not over with. So many success stories coming from JUCO. If you could kill it in JUCO, you deserve to be on the D1. If you can't kill it in JUCO, you shouldn't be fooling yourself talking about, man, I don't know why I even came here. Stop it.
Yeah, you're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. For you, JT, when you were looking into your student, and making your choice on where you were going for school, what were some of the main factors for you besides just hooping? You know what I mean? Did you look for like a family-oriented college? Was it campus? Like, what was the main things for you I know for you said, shit, Triton was the only one that really wanted me, but like, what were some of the factors for you that you kind of were looking at when making your choice, especially like going to St. Louis?
Yeah, and I just talk like this now because a lot of things has changed for me. But I was dumb, man. I was worried about all the wrong things. When I went to Triton, it was right there by home. I initially said, man, I'm trying to go far from home. I'm trying to get out the Midwest, but being by home is the best thing for you, in my opinion. But I was worried about the wrong things. When I went to Ambrose, I was worried about like, man, how many girls is here? Or how many clubs is here? Or, you know what I'm saying? Just I remember telling my coach, like, he was like, yeah, man, my most important thing is to get you to graduate. And I'm like, I'm just trying to come here and do 2 years. And I'm going overseas. Like, I hear you on the graduating, but the classes I need to take need to be easy. Like, I was so dumb, bro. I only worried about hooping. I thought that once I was done hooping, I was going to be good enough to just go overseas. And I don't even care about no degree. So I was so stupid back then. I was worried about all the wrong things. What I should have been worried about, to your question, is yes, is this a good community? Like, do I have a family atmosphere? Like, am I gonna be okay? How far away am I from home that if shit hit the fan, my mom could come help? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Like, what type of coaches they got, what type of classes there is. Like, I should have been worried about that type of stuff instead of like all the nonsense I was worried about.
Yeah. Making that adjustment from Triton and going to St. Ambrose. How was that whole experience at St. Ambrose? Knowing the coach was like, we want you, and you came. How was that experience at St. Ambrose?
Man, another great question, bro, because it's deeper than that. Because so here I am. I'm at Eastside Aurora, inner city kid. I'm going to Triton, Chicago, maybe whatever you want to call it, but it's the city though, So now I'm going to a private Catholic university, which is a very good university I went to. But this is the first time in life that I'm seeing nuns. I can remember, bro, getting all my gear before I go to university, all my Jordans, all my fitted design or whatever. And I'm going out there, first day of school, I got worried about all the wrong things, like I said. So I go on campus. Man, not one person looked at my J's I had on. These people got my sandals. They had that, like, I'm seeing nuns. I'm like, what is that? So it was a real culture shock for me, being at a Catholic school. But it was the best thing for me, man. It opened up my eyes to realize, like, damn, how I grew up wasn't normal. Like the circumstances I had to go through, that's not the norm for these other people and everyone else. I'm people pulling up to practice in SUVs, like exotic whips and all that, and I got my little beard. I'm just like, damn, we going to functions. Everybody got their parents, mom and dad, everybody donate. Everybody. I'm just like, damn, like, people, but I killed it, man. Everybody loved me, but it was a culture shock for sure, man. It was the biggest thing I had to adjust to, like, oh shit, like where I come from, that's not reality. This is reality, and it helped me out a lot, bro.
Yeah. I know for you kind of spoke on, basketball is basketball, your style of play, it can fit in any system. But did you have to make any adjustments? Was the style of play different? You know what I mean? I know usually going from a JUCO to a university, dudes are bigger, stronger, faster, there's more resources. It's tougher, workout wise, games a lot faster. Did you have to adjust to that too?
Me personally, no, but everyone else have to. But me personally, no, because now I added being a shooter to my game, and I was just like, I came into Ambrose the first year. I was conference player of the year, and like I wasn't an All-American because we had an All-American on our team, and I was just feeding him. But I was all conference. I'm actually fourth all time at 3-point percentage at this St. Ambrose University. So I had a great 2 years, bro. But no adjustments for me. If anything, I got more exposure to myself because I've added becoming a 3-point shooter along with setting people up. And I figured out the sauce of being a great player. That's what made me a pro. And yeah, it was great, bro. I didn't have to adjust though at all.
Okay. When did overseas come into play for you? Did you always have in your mind, like, what was that? When was the moment for you when you was like, man, I'm gonna take the overseas route? Because you could have went, different route. You could have went. Some people do G League tryouts. Some people do, ABA league stuff like that. But when did overseas come into playing for you?
So after I graduated college, I went to a couple like academies. I went to Boston for a little academy to help you get jobs, and I went to somewhere else in like Iowa. So I was doing that, but then at that time I was talking to these people who've been overseas. So they was telling me, pretty much how to get overseas. A lot of these dudes backpack, get a one-way trip over there and to any country, and then find the hoop scene. And obviously, you got to be straight financially to be able to support that stuff. But if you go overseas, man, and you prove you got level, they're not gonna want you to come back to the States. They're gonna want to sign you. So once I heard that, I'm always told myself, I'm going overseas. I'm going overseas. And I ended up graduating first. And it's crazy because I graduated December 2012. And then in like March 2013, I broke my fibula and tibia. So I snapped it in half. Playing flag football, just it was crazy. So I was out for 2.5, almost 3 years. So, and even still then, I still kept saying like, I'm going overseas. I finished school. I got to get my leg back right. And then I contacted this dude who was holding an academy overseas. Me and him was first talking when I first got hurt. But I got back in touch with him like, yo, I want to come to your academy. I'm ready now. And he was like, okay, we'll love to have you. But remind you, D, at this time, there was a lot of basketball scamming going on. So I was real wary about because I only talked to this dude on Facebook. I never talked to him on the phone. I'm just seeing pictures of his academy in Barcelona. I see a lot of players that been through him. So I'm like, okay, this is official. I talked to a couple of players that went. They're like, yeah, they told me, it was official. So I contacted him. I sent him money to be a part of the academy. And then I ended up flying out there in 2016 to Barcelona, Spain, stayed the whole year. And it was exactly what my homie told me, like in Boston. Like, you get over there and prove you got level, they're not going to want you to come back. And that's exactly what happened. So I took a chance on paying this dude some money that I never talked to personally on the phone or never seen in my life. Could have got scammed and all that. But it worked out for me. I took a chance on myself, betted on myself. Became part of an academy, and in that academy, I got signed from a team overseas in Spain, and the rest was history, bro. The rest was history.
Man, talk about that. Being different. I'm not really too up on overseas stuff, but I know it's a lot of adjustments over there too. Sometimes it's a crazy time difference. Sometimes it's a language barrier. Sometimes it's a food difference. How did you adapt to the lifestyle over there? Did you enjoy it? I know, sometimes going to big cities like that, man, it's just like living over here, but sometimes going to smaller cities and countries, it's like, I don't want to say hell, but it's a adjustment for sure.
Yeah, when I was at East Aurora, I think Cottrell Green was one of our assistants, and he went overseas to play, but he came back. And when he came back, he was all skinny. And I was like, what happened? He's like, man, I got sick over there, man. The food. So I always had that in the back of my mind, like, damn, man. And I'll tell you what, when I first went over there on the plane, I wanted to cry because I was just so nervous. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I'm going all the way to a different country. Something happened to me. I'm so far away from home. I'm going to this random ass hotel. I don't even know where it's at. I've never seen this dude before that I sent this money to. I could be getting scammed. My return ticket ain't until a month. So I'm like, I was just nervous, bro. I had anxiety. And then when I got there, dude was like 3 hours late picking me up. That was the worst probably 3 hours of my life. Cause I'm sitting here like, man, this dude done fucking scammed me. Cause like the whole time I'm telling him my plane to be here, there. I'll be there. Don't worry. Then when I got there, he was like, his phone wasn't working or something. My service wasn't working. I waited for 3 hours, bro, panicking. Sure enough, he popped through the doors, and the rest is history. Got to my room. I killed the academy. I was in Barcelona, so man, I had like star status, man. I was an American. They love Americans. If you're an American, you anywhere overseas, they automatically know about how you walk. You're an American, and they just kind of like intrigued with Americans. And I was a good player, nice person, obviously. So they just loved me, bro. And even when I was at college, we went to Ireland for like 3 months or 3 weeks, whatever. But they wanted me to stay out there. They wanted me to sign with their professional team. I had to sign autographs every time I got done playing in Ireland. Like I always just had like star status overseas. I had the dreads back then. I was a lot skinnier. It was just, it was cool for me, bro. It was really love.
Yeah. Where are all the countries you played overseas at?
So I played in Ireland, I played in Barcelona, and I played in Toronto in Canada.
Okay. What was your favorite one? And why?
That's a good question, bro. I would say, man, Barcelona, because it's just everything, bro. They got beaches, mountains, palm trees, like just beautiful people. Like I would say Barcelona, man. It's just too beautiful. It's different. And being overseas, that's when you'll really appreciate being from America, because we just got so many opportunities that overseas don't. But overseas, at the other hand, is way more beautiful because they're not dealing with all the social shit we deal with, all the bullshit, all the hidden
Yeah,
agendas, ulterior motives, and all that. That shit don't exist overseas. They got their problems and their politics, but as far as the corrupt shit, that shit only happen in America. But everybody's wish is to get to America if you're
yeah,
from overseas. So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Um, I know you talk about, you had an injury, that kind of sat you down for 3 years, basically. How was your mental to do that whole process? Because I know sometimes, people just have a hard time recovering from certain injuries, or they never become the same person.
Yeah.
How was your whole mental? How did you stay focused and stay positive to get back to knowing like you wanted to get overseas?
Yeah, I had an emergency surgery. My leg was like off, so that messed me up for a minute. But the thing that kept me focused is I ended up coaching and training at that period of time, and
Okay.
a lot of people fell in love with me because I was able to get aggression out of their kids that they weren't really accustomed to seeing. So their parents was indebted to me because their kids loved playing for me. So I just had a connection with people, and that's when I really started to understand the game from a science. Like, oh shit, if I do this, I can create this over here. I can manipulate this situation if I just got this backside. So I just really started to understand from a coach perspective that, oh man, when I get back playing, like it's really just gonna add to my IQ, which my IQ has always been like great, on the court standpoint.
Yeah.
But and then also just not being able to walk, so just really working on my air shots, and then my shot just became automatic, bro. Like once I ended up getting healthy and running and walking again, you can just tell like the form and so I just ended up getting back good, and it became my leg got stronger.
Yeah.
After the surgery, I got the rod and the pins in it. It made my leg stronger, and I was just at my prime, bro. I was the best I've ever been hooping wise, and I was a problem. Like people in the Quad Cities now will know me as Dreadhead JT because I'm bald now, but they know, bro. I was a problem when it comes to the hoops, bro. I was
Yeah.
always been a big bro on that hoop shit, bro. For real.
Okay. For you, just as somebody that had a successful career, playing professional ball overseas, what has the game of basketball really taught you that kind of carried into life?
Damn, that's a great question, bro. So I do want to say this first. I learned more than basketball in 3 months from being at this dude's academy than I've did in 25 years in the States.
Mm.
And that's interesting because that's no lie. I'm not capping for no reason. Like I've learned, it sounds weird. I learned in 3 months more about basketball than I've learned in 20 something years in the States. And because Americans, we're blessed with athletic ability. We're used to running a play, going ISO, running down the court, dunking on 3, 4 people. They don't have those abilities overseas. And European men, those European legs, they don't have them type of abilities. So they're coming from basketball from a chess standpoint. They're not isoing people out there. They're moving, backdoor, pass, extra pass, cut, layup. You know what I'm saying? So they're really playing chess from their basketball. So when they go to coaching it, they're not coaching from oh, just give him the ball, watch out. No, they're coaching it from this is how you get open standpoint.
Yeah.
So and it's just, this guy was a basketball junkie, man. He couldn't play. He was like 5'8", 260 pounds. He just looked like a bum, but he was a rich basketball old head junkie, and he knew about all his history. He knew all the big time coaches over there. He created his own business, this academy. He's a everyone from the state go to his academy. And if anyone
Yeah.
want to hoop, get with me. I'll put you on a connect. Um, but yeah, he's just a basketball wizard, bro. And he just put me on so much. He liked me a lot. He made me the captain of his academy like the second day that I was there. Like he liked me a lot. And me and him had a lot of one-on-one time, and I was able to pick his brain about basketball. And it was just like, I put small examples just like this. I'm like, hey, Sergeant, now that you've seen, my game, tell me what you think I need to work on to be better. He was like, what? Why you say that? I'm like, what do you think I need to work on to be better? He was like, you don't work on nothing to be better. You're already the player you're going to be at this point. You work on what you're good at and you specialize at it. I'm like,
Mm.
damn. Like that just makes so much sense. My whole life, oh, work on your right hand. You need to work on it. Like, no. man, work on what you're good at and become a specialist at it. That's how you play in the top leagues. And then they have like condition tests, shooting tests. Like if you test well in these tests, you're going to a top league. And I'm just thinking like, damn, that is smart. So it's like real shooting tests that you do to prove if you're a real pro shooter or not. And the test's not gonna lie, the number's not gonna lie. If you can't do this wide open, you're not gonna be able to do this in the game. So I know all the tests to prove if you're a good shooter or not. I know all the tests to prove if you're in professional shape or not. I know all that, bro. I learned all that, and it was amazing. But last thing I want to say about overseas, a lot of people think like, I ain't going overseas. They only paying 300 euros a month. That ain't nothing, bro. It's not about the money, man. When you got your crib, your insurance, your food, all that paid for, you don't need no money. It's about the experiences you get while playing overseas. It's about the opportunity that if you kill, you're gonna move up. If another team offer you more money, your team has to match that, or they gotta let you go. See, people don't know about that, you know. So all the money, get that out your head. If you really love basketball, you've been doing it for free your whole life. Why wouldn't you do it in a different country? You know, my wife is from Barcelona. We're married. We got a 5-year-old daughter. You know, I could go right now and hoop in Spain as a citizen. And it's so many like endless opportunities you can do playing overseas. And they have so many leagues. Like people think, oh, you go overseas, you're automatically in the top league. Nah, you might start off in the 3rd or 4th or 5th league team, you know? And that's just how it goes. But to be able to say I'm a professional player, that's what it's all about. Because you over there in a different country, meeting different people, getting different opportunities, all because you know how to put this round thing in a hole. So it's crazy.
Anytime you can get paid to do something you love, bro, I think that's the best thing. You know,
it's the best thing, man. The best thing.
You get paid to enjoy what you like doing. You getting paid to hoop, man, to play a game. You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
the goal is to make big time money being a hooper. But realistically, if you're not D1, you know, perfect example is Ryan Boatwright, man. He probably got the storyhood, you know, basketball and college career. You know, killed it in high school, became a college champion, and he's overseas killing it, bro. And people think maybe, oh, well, he not on NBA. Nah, man, that dude is doing what he loves. He from Aurora. And he's been a big time basketball player overseas. You might not see it every day on ESPN, but don't think he didn't make it hooping.
Right. You know, he's over there for a reason, man.
He's over there for a reason, man. He's over there for a reason. It's a lifestyle. That's what it is. People try to hoop and just think they can hoop and a light switch turning off or on. No, it's a lifestyle for us, bro.
Right. To talk about, you know, you said that guy, you went to his academy and he was just a genius, just at ball. Do you feel like that's why a lot of players in the NBA now are so ahead of us, like the Lucas and the Jokers and like, you know, the guys from over there, they make it look so easy in the league now, bro, because like they've been hooping as a pro since 14, 15 years old. You know what I mean? So people over there seeing Luka dropping 40-point triple doubles and doing all this, like Luka has been doing this, but he just coming over here because we're just so, you know, you got guys like that over there that just know. You know, like he been doing this since 14, man. So like you got to see that up close. Were there any guys over there that you seen like that when you was like, man, like,
oh yeah,
he gonna be nice, man.
Yeah, man. I thought I was in shape going over there, just to realize I'm nowhere near in shape that I need to be. When you think about Luka, the most thing the average hooper gonna look at his point, like, oh, he killing, but the hoopers know that he play at his pace. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you gotta. You the man on the court. So when you have your own pace, you're not getting spud up by people all in your face and making, you know what I'm saying? When you play at your own pace, that's how you know you're professional, man. And it's hard to do that when the game makes you speed up or someone's trailing behind you or they're trying to press you and all that. When you play at your pace, you're a professional. Nice. You know, and them dudes move different. Jokic, Giannis, all them overseas dudes, man, they think different and they move different.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. I think European basketball is, I wouldn't say surpassing the NBA, but you're starting to understand why NBA not always getting gold, because them other teams are playing like teams. They're not just relying on one person to get them 30.
Right.
And we playing off names and titles, but they're not playing on that. They're playing on smartness, and they're gonna move that ball, and then they're gonna take what you give them. Right. And that's tough. We play basketball like that. That's tough.
and they've been hooping together for years and years. We ain't just throwing guys out there saying go hoop. Like, man, chemistry is important, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is. Yeah, for sure.
For you, JT, if you had a mirror in front of you right now and you could look at your 16-year-old self, knowing what you know now, through everything, through your business, your career, through playing ball, the right or wrong choices you may have made, what would you tell your 16-year-old self right now if you could talk to him and give him advice?
I would say, man, that's a good question. That got me thinking. I would probably just say, man, things gonna get hard, but if you find some faith, you're gonna be all right. So the faith is important, man. Whatever you want to believe in. I'm not saying either or is right or wrong, but find something to believe that, because everything happens for a reason, and you have to have some type of faith. Like, that's what's gonna make you take it to the next level, when you believe that, oh, this is why this happening, and you give thanks, and it teaches you, it instills a lot within you when you believe in something and have a passion about something. I feel sorry for people that don't have a passion, because they're just living every day, just trying to figure it out. Until you really have a passion. A passion means that you'll do that every day for the rest of your life, no matter if you get paid or not. You honestly, genuinely love to do it. That's what a passion is. And if you have faith, you'll find your passion. And I would just tell my 16-year-old self, just relax, bro. It'll be all right. Find something you believe in, and it'll take you there.
Thanks. Okay. I know for you, one of the questions I have that I always ask people is, after, for you, when the ball really stops for you, what's next for you? Now I got into the space where I'm interviewing, high school players, and, that's coming up. And I ask a few of them, I try not to be too harsh. I don't want them to take it wrong, but like, what is your career after basketball? Not everybody has a 15, 20-year career as a pro ball player. What are some of your other interests that you'd like to do if basketball doesn't pan out for you? And I know for you, you got into, having your own business and having a career. What led to you making that choice of making that next step in life, and kind of realizing like, okay, basketball is it for me, professional wise. I'm gonna move on into the next step of my life.
Yeah, that's a great question, man. And just to hit on that before I answer, yes, you're exactly right. These kids need to have a plan when they're, I would say, freshman, sophomore, junior, before they get to a senior. If you get to a senior, you don't got no plan, it's probably a little bit too late. That's the one biggest, hardest thing for me, is I really didn't have a plan outside of basketball. I was always in with basketball, even after college. And when I was overseas playing, I wasn't making big time money to be able to come back to the States and live off of. So I had to understand, like, damn, I came back home and now I don't really got nothing. So my girl at the time, she got pregnant and I was having a daughter. So I'm like, oh shit, like, it's either keep traveling across abroad and chasing my dream and just have a daughter be born in Europe and be kind of a sometimes dad, or really kind of, really start to believe in something and handle responsibility. So, my wife came to the States and I wanted my daughter to have citizenship. So she was born in the States. So I had to stop hooping and I had to get a job. And I've been grinding ever since. And had an opportunity after I worked for about 3-4 years to go to business for myself. And it's been the best decision I ever made in my life. Like, I'll never again work for anybody else. Like, I'll always be in control of my own schedule for the rest of my life until I'm gone. No, that's what it's all about, bro. That's when you become rich, is when you control your own time. It ain't about how much money you got in the bank,
But what led to the choice of, getting into your field? What was that? When did that kind of interest you to get into that field?
So it wasn't really something I saw. It was just something that came in front of me that I just couldn't pass up, because it was just too good of an opportunity. And I feel like that's when you blessed in life, is when you do the right things when no one's looking. That builds character, right? So if you have faith and you always try to do the right thing, you will get blessed from, it's just nature, bro. It's gonna happen. And this opportunity really came about. And it's in a field that I've never in my life thought I would grow up doing. But at the end of the day, it's just changing lives. It's helping people, and that's what I've always had a passion for. Is pretty much serving people, helping people. And that's what I do all day, every day. I change people's lives. I have conversations with people. I help them. I sit down. We discuss. A big part of it is life insurance. I help people, set their family up for success. I financially provide a lot of education to people. Generational wealth is pretty much all 100% life insurance. That's what separates some cultures from other cultures because grandpa had $1 million policy on the grandbabies, and when they grew up, that's how they paid for college. That's how they had their cars. That's how they had their homes and weddings and stuff. Is because they had access to all this money. And real quick, and I'm not to be so much about this or my business, or whatever, but I had a homie in Springfield drop dead from a massive heart attack. Had 3 kids, and this is before I even got into the business for myself and a wife. And he had all the money. He was selling weed and had all the money, but pass away, and your wife do a GoFundMe, and it's cool that you raised 38 whatever 40,000, but had you been putting away 30 $35 away a month, each kid could have had $100,000, $250,000. We don't never know what's going to happen to us, but if you love your family, you'll set them up for success, and there's no excuses for that. I just think if you really love your family, why wouldn't you set them up for success? Whether and you can't tell me no one can find, $20 a month. We spend that on out to eat and all that. So I ain't gonna go into all that. But like I said, I do change people's lives when I sit down. I have conversations with them. I understand what's important to them, and I help educate on the services we offer to help your vision come true. So when you do get a life insurance policy and people pass away, I'm able to hand them checks over to the other family, and they just indebted to me. And it's not about money, but it's about continuing to maintain your lifestyle when your significant other, who was paying for everything, is no longer here. So,
Thanks.
It's just a passion, bro. People got to find their passion. They got to tap in within themselves and find out what makes them happy. Can't nobody tell you can't do it for no one else. You're gonna be struggling for a long time until you find that.
Facts. No, I think that's really important, JT, because I think a lot of people don't really, like you said, for example, your friend that you knew that just passed, suddenly. Life is just crazy, man. At a snap of a finger, life can change like that. So I think it's really important that you said that. But my question to you is, when will be a good time to really get into having life insurance? Like, what would be the ideal age to really start getting it for yourself? Just to have that, just protection, for your family.
When you're young. So the younger you are, the cheaper you are. As parents, I believe we should have it for our kids. And there's a lot of different options you can have that it probably be for your kid $10 a month. But when your kid turns 18, guess what? They have cash value now that they can access because they have a permanent life insurance policy. Okay. Now, if they need a loan for $60,000, they can take it out of their own policy versus going to the bank and have to pay them their double back. They can just take it out of their own policy, and it just subtracts from the death benefit. So no, I'm not gonna make people understand what life insurance is all about all in this one little interview. But if you're interested, reach out to us, man. I'm a State Farm agent. Trey, he's in Aurora, Illinois. He works with me. He's educated. Go to your local agent. Do your own research. There's plans for a couple bucks a month that if something happened to you or your kids, you guys will be set forever. And to answer your question, the best time to get it is when you're young. And then even if you're older, like there's a lot of different options. And I just feel like if you really love your family, obviously if you can afford it, you'll set them up for success.
Thanks. Very important, man. Very important, JT, for real. So JT, this part of the podcast, bro, is probably my favorite part because I kind of put you on the hot seat a little bit. Ask some questions that people kind of want to hear your answers to. So this one right here is probably my favorite one. So if I say JT, I need you to create an all-time 5 from Aurora. Who is your 5?
That's tough. Oh man.
With this one because oh, you forgot him. Like this is your 5. I'm putting you on the spot, so you ain't had time to think about it, and stuff like that. So right.
I ain't even doing positions. It could be all guards. Don't even matter. But my top 5. Talk to me. Seen or played with?
I'm gonna say play with because
that changes it up. Okay. Played with, huh?
In fact, give me both. I want to hear both.
Yeah, seen, it'll be Justin Sarasoli. Jay Thomas from Aurora. I'm just do from Aurora. Just say solely Jay Thomas. Um, Kenny Battle. Um, Coach Wyatt, Thomas Wyatt.
Tough.
Those four. Jay, Justin, and then give me Bo. Give me Bo. Cause I didn't play with Bo. So yeah, I seen him. Yeah, Bo.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
like Justin was one of my favorite high school players. But playing with Tyrone Evans for sure. For sure. Sean Collins for sure. And then three more play with, man. Play with. I want to go with some West Side people.
So you said Sean? Sean, you said somebody else, right? Sean is somebody else.
Tyrone Evans.
Okay.
I also go Isaiah Anderson for sure.
Yeah, Sean, you in there, Brody. He said you heard it. You in there.
Will Brown for sure. That's the homie.
Will.
Yeah, Will Brown, and then man, it's only right. Rest in peace, Andrew Dockery, man. I throw Andrew Dock in there, man. He was a young bull, man, for sure.
Okay. Man, Skip texted me and told me, he said, man, if he don't say me and Sean, he capping.
Nah, Skip, Mike Postaway, he was a demon when he was young. Everybody know he was a bully for sure.
Man, shout out Skip, man.
Me and Sean, we rocked out in college together. Everybody know how we was coming on the east side, man. Ain't nobody want to see me and Sean.
Facts. Okay. JT, in your prime, if you could play 1-on-1 versus anybody, who would be that matchup that you need? In your prime, who you want to see on that court, rather it be NBA, somebody you didn't play against, whoever.
Prime, prime. It'll probably have to be probably like Kyrie. Okay. Yeah, Kyrie. Okay. Kyrie nasty with the 1-on-1 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. For you, Brody, what has been your favorite moment as a hooper? Like, do you have a special moment as a hooper in your career, or do you have multiple? I know that's kind of a broad question. Do you have favorite moments as a hooper?
Yes. So I've made people fall. That's electric. I've hit like 10 threes in a row. That's electric. Never really dunked on no one. I'll be honest. I would say my favorite moment is hitting the game-winning shot. That's electric. Like that puts stuff through your body that you don't really know how to do. It's so exhilarating, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think somebody said Isaiah Anderson. Okay.
Yeah, I seen that comment with the snatchback. This is when you know you cold. When you got a go-to move that people know is coming, but they can't stop it. Isaiah was one of the first people. He had the snatchback. He gonna get you going hard, and when you go in there to try to defend him, he gonna come back between that leg. He gonna pull that J. You can't stop it. Me, I'm gonna go hit you right to left, crossover between the leg. You're not gonna stop it. You're not gonna stop it. You're gonna be left where you at. You couldn't stop it. People know what's going on. You can't. When you got a go-to move, that's when you know you're certified. Not a lot of players got that go-to move that you can create separation and get your shot off.
Right. So like you said, you know it's coming, but you can't. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. You don't know when, though, but you know it's coming.
You know it's coming. I gotta pop my shit a little bit. Even from last alumni game, overweight, all that. Come back in town. Yeah, niggas know what it is. East over west. And there was a lot of chatter from the west side, but they know how we was coming from the east side all the way.
Thanks. Okay. JT, if you could listen to 3 albums for the rest of your life, what 3 would they be? Any genre?
Oh man. Man, any albums? Probably that albums. Man, probably the little Jay-Z and R. Kelly, Best of Both Worlds. Probably some Wayne album, maybe the Drop 3.
Okay.
And then probably throw, man, the Drop 3, the Best of Both Worlds, and then I don't know, Drake or something. I don't know the other album.
Okay.
Pool, yeah, Tyrone Evans, the Hezzy Pool. Can nobody stop that, man?
Facts.
Everybody thought that, bro. That was his go-to. Everybody know Tyrone was the man, bro.
Man, I hear so much about him, bro. I'm just mad I never got to see it live, man, for real.
Man, that dude was like a real life dog. Bro, I ain't never seen no one kill like that. So, shout out West Aurora, man, and Derek Holyfield on him too. I just watched the tapes back in 2000 when they won the tape. It's players like, and I want to say this back to where like different communities. You might be decent, but you're on a good team, so therefore you get better opportunities versus a dog that's on like a bad team. But they know if this dog had those opportunities to be over here, they will flourish and excel so much more. And you got dogs like that, like Tyrone Evans and Raymond Anthony, real dead-eye shooters who, man, maybe if they had a different opportunity, they could have, man, maybe went somewhere else, you know? And but you can't take away them solid players who's doing well in these great programs. Like Derek Holyfield setting records and hitting your shots, playing big time. I love that West team, man. And I wish I would have known they won a state title back in like 03 when I had that decision. I would have went to West if I was back on my basketball game. Or if I had someone who provided structure for me and made a decision for me, what's best for me versus me wanting to be around my friends. That's not what's best for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Sean said, no, he was talking about me. He was talking about himself.
Sean had a hezzy pull. He learned that from Tyrone. Sean took over when Tyrone left. That's who went in Tyrone's spot. Everybody know this. And yes, Sean had the hezzy pull too. Sean gonna go for 30 all threes. Everybody know this. Shout out Sean, man. I think he coming on your show too, right?
Yep, Sean coming on here, man. I'm excited for that one for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Your thing growing, bro. When I heard about this, I'm like, oh, he doing a run? Who? Man, when they asked I do it, man, I'd be honored to do it, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. For real, man. I appreciate that. For you, brother, if you could have 5 dinner guests, dead or alive, anybody, you know, athletes, loved ones, actors, actresses, to just sit at a table and just chop it up with about whatever, who would be your 5 that you would want to chop it up with? Just pick their brain.
It'll probably be Adam Silver. Damn, good question. Roger Goodell.
Business owners. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm about, bro. That's all I'm about. Kanye, for sure. People who control what they do, you know. Probably Drake.
Okay.
And obviously you said dead or alive, so I'm gonna have to see my grandma or something like that, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, this just decision makers, man, business owners, people who control their time, and people who just know information. So I'm in the middle of working with something, and it's like creating a league and a mentorship and all that for kids growing up. Because I feel like if kids are involved with the organization throughout their whole life, they're more inclined to stay with that organization once they get older. So I can't really speak too much about it because it's in process, but that's what I know from being overseas. Like these kids are in the program their whole life. So when they get older, they're that's their program. That's what all they know. And the same type of deal with insurance and all that. So I got some things working with starting an official league. And I love a lot of things I see in Aurora with fathers first with their kids. Justin Vile is a big one that I think of with his kids, Ethan. Obviously Travis Brown with his kids. There's a lot of things I'm seeing on the hoop, the hoop scene, but most importantly, I'm seeing it from their fathers either initiating it or directing it or being a part of it. And that's just important to me because I did not have that. And I know that's one of the bigger pieces that I missed out on that could have, excelled me to the next level type deal.
Facts. No, that's big, JT. Salute to you on that, man. We definitely need more of that. Just for the youth, man. I just feel like now there's just so much going on. Like you said, social media plays a big part in just these kids' lives, man. So we really need to uplift them and have more programs out here for kids, man, to help them excel, man. Because
I'm trying to think if I forgot anybody, because I know it's a lot of fathers doing great things with their kids. I don't want to forget nobody on that type of time, but
yeah.
But yeah, especially out here in the Quad Cities, that list is too long. But Yeah, back home. But yeah, so I'm gonna tap in, man, and there's gonna be some things going on. There's some things coming up here in the near future that I think is gonna be special because there's a lot of great talent out there still in the Aurora area, Oswego area, all that.
Facts. Okay. If you could get NBA, if I said JT, I can get you tickets to any NBA game in NBA history, courtside. What game you got to be at? What game is it for you?
Game one of the 0-1 finals, LA versus Philly.
Yeah, you got to be there.
I watched that for sure.
Why that game in particular though?
Man, it's because that's when I was infatuated with the little one, and he put on such a spectacular show that it was kind of like unbelievable. And he really made it seem like he had a shot to win the title, and like the Lakers would lose. That was the first Lakers loss that whole season. Like Kobe and O'Neal was just tearing stuff up, but AI come in and in that game one, bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. It was crazy for sure.
JT, I need your top 5 players of all time, Brody.
Top from what, like local or NBA?
From the NBA. My fault. I said more player. Yeah, I need your top 5 NBA players of all time.
That I've seen personally with my own eyes. I'm not gonna go into the Bill Russell Magics and all that, because that's what everybody say. I'm going off what I've seen, and it's definitely Jordan. It's definitely AI, Kobe. You got to throw LeBron in there, and then I'm gonna say T-Mac. I like Vince Carter too, but T-Mac. Got to.
Man, if T-Mac didn't have them injuries, Brody, oh my God.
T-Mac just was, bro, it was different, bro. He was different. He was the first person that shoot with like leaning with his one leg out. Like it was different, bro. It was the first time everybody really seen that.
Right.
Like he had everybody shooting, kicking their leg out. Like,
facts. It's offensive. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was something crazy, bro. Like it looked so wet when he did it. He had them veins coming out from right here. Like it was T-Mac was tough.
Right, with the leg sleeve on, with the man, bro.
I had T-Macs when they came out with the swoop on the front, and then the line for the T-Mac twos. Yeah, bro. T-Mac was tough.
Facts. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting T-Mac, man. You know, T-Mac got his own league that he do in the summertime.
The one-on-one. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Chuck Bryant. He worked the ones league, and they came to Chicago. I'm like, bro, I need you to let me in there, bro. He's like, man, I got you. So I was be able to be in there, talking to T-Mac, man, talking to Sean Marion, talking to Rod Strickland, just being around that NBA culture, man. And T-Mac was just so open, man. He take pictures with people, and I got to ask him a few questions, man. And I was young, when T-Mac, was hooping, but just to see how talented he was, man. Like I know injuries kind of killed a lot of talent we didn't have in the league, and you saying T-Mac is like, man, T-Mac would have really been something special, bro. He would have been, I think more of what KD is now. You know what I mean? That 6'9", could get to his spots, so smooth with it. So
yeah, you couldn't stop what he had going on. That's for sure. Like you couldn't stop
it. Facts. My last one for you, JT, bro. I'm gonna let you go. If you could recommend, somebody that I can have on my platform that you would like to hear, hear their story, hear from, who would be that guest that you would recommend?
Let me give you a list because I can't just say one.
Okay, I'm working on some. I can't say none yet, but I'm working on some. But we're gonna see what you got to say, Brody.
Let me give you a list, okay? I'm gonna give you like 10 of them, okay?
Hold on, okay. My business partner, make sure we writing this down. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my notes down so I can see. All right, bet. Talk to me, Brody.
You got to go back and follow up with Jay and get that interview done because a lot of people, including myself, man, Jay was something special walking around the Aurora area. And so go follow back up and get that done. Tyrone Evans, Isaiah Anderson, and I can help reach out to these people to help get them on because I love to hear from their stories.
Okay.
Tyrone Anderson, Isaiah Anderson, Nate Fuqua.
Okay, I know his brother John. That's my guy.
Oh, John, yep. I did see your show with him, yep. Nate
Yeah, that's my
Fuqua, he just tapped in on the scene with everyone. Oh man, Isaiah Anderson. Let's see. Travis, yeah, definitely gotta get Travis too.
Travis Brown.
Travis,
Okay.
yeah. Get Darius Vincent, man. Um, man, you can get players from the West Side. Let me see. Well, man, I'm thinking about like Chicago. Jacob Pullen, definitely gotta get his story.
Man, it's hard to get in touch with him. He be so out the way. Like, he don't do social media either, man. I'm having to like call in favors. Like, bro, I need to tap in with him, bro. He tough to get in touch with.
So, but yeah, that, and then obviously you got Sean coming on, and then Isaiah, I said, just people I like to hear from. I like to hear from everyone, but I just know Aurora, who's seen is different.
Yeah.
And Derek Holyfield too, man. I want to hear their stories, that experience with them beating Darius Miles, and then that Whitney, what was it? Whitney Young in the finals.
Darius Miles, he went to, was it East St. Louis?
Yeah, that's East St. Louis in the semifinals, but then they beat believe Whitney Young in the championship. Yeah.
Okay.
But they had a great team. Jamal, like Lou, Derek Holyfield, even the point guard that's their coach now. Man, it was just so tough, bro. Austin Real, the solid big man. So that I love that team. But even the coaches, man, if you tap in with coaches, that'll be raw too. Like asking them their best players and stuff. Like yeah. So but a couple names for you.
Yeah,
you know, I know the people behind the scenes, so I'll reach out if I forgot. I can't. It's so many names to think now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, some of these people, I've been in touch with, but definitely, just want to get experience. Like I said, I'm young, so Cuz been helping me reach out to the guys that were before me. That's legends in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I just like to get different names and different ideas of people, that, like you said, that people want to hear from. You know what I'm saying? Especially me, as a hoop fan, being from Aurora. So, I just got to take some ideas from you, man. See who y'all want to hear from, and people
about. You should do that with everyone. Ask everyone, give them a couple referrals. And that's how you grow your clientele. And I guarantee you, nobody gonna say no. I guarantee that. I stand on that. What you're doing is raw, bro. For real.
Thanks. Some Cuz been helping me, and I had a few people that kind of, just podcasts ain't their thing. You know what I'm saying? They don't like talking, which I respect. You know what I'm saying? I respect that 100%. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like,
Well, I mean, you do a good job. It's different than the podcast, okay? Because it's back and forth, but I would say it's an interview, because you do a good job directing it and asking the questions, and pretty much they're just answering your questions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see anyone having a problem with it, honestly. I would be surprised if a hooper turned it down, because they know this for the people looking up, and you got a business, and get with the sponsorships, man. I love what you're doing, bro. Like, honestly, I'm a fan. I've seen a lot of your shows. You got some big time players that made the league on your show, so I'm honored to be a part of it and tell my little story.
Thanks. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, man. JT, man, I appreciate you taking time out your day, to come on my platform. It's an honor for me. I just want to give you your flowers for what you contributed to the game of basketball, from Aurora, you know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you again. I want to give you your flowers. Thanks for telling your story. I hope it kind of inspired, the young youth coming up behind you, they can follow in the right steps, learning from your story. So, thank you again, buddy. I really appreciate it, man, for real.
Last thing before I go, my story is all about networking. That's the key to all of the success, is the networking through the basketball, through coaches, through all that. Get out there, shake hands, talk with some conviction and some sense, network, and that's all it's about. It's about who you know, not what you know,
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Again, I appreciate you having me on, man.
For sure. All right, y'all. That was episode 127. That was a good one for y'all. This will be uploaded on YouTube in a minute. Thank y'all again for all the support. And again, peace, y'all.
All right, brother. Keep doing your thing.